With the first pick in the 2023 NBA Draft, the San Antonio Spurs select Victor Wembanyama from Nanterre, France.
Victor.
Good afternoon, YouTube! Digital Adele here, back with another Hoops Profile breakdown for you. The 2023 NBA Draft is over. We know who the teams are that have selected which of these prospects to their respective team. And this week, we're going to go through something a little different. We're going to go through the best and worst values in the draft. And that is for their draft position, where they were drafted, who was left on the board, and why I felt that way. So I hope you enjoy the content. This channel is growing rapidly. I really appreciate all the support. If you can, hit that like button, hit the subscribe button and the bell to be notified when I go live. It really helps me out, really helps the channel out. This community is great. The feedback and the engagement has been great. We're going to keep this thing going. I really appreciate you. I hope you like the content. Let's get right down to the best values in the draft. We're going to do that first. All right, Scoot Henderson comes in as a great value in the first round with the third pick. The Trailblazers drafted the 6'2", 19-year-old guard from the G League. Scoot averaged 16.5 points per game, 5.3 rebounds per game, and 6.8 assists per game. Scoot is explosive in the style of Russell Westbrook. That alone is what makes him a generational type talent. He's an excellent passer. He needs to focus on that, in my opinion. He has an excellent midi J that'll serve him well to help keep defenders off balance. He has all the tools to be a menace on the defensive end. If he commits to it, he's blazing fast in the open court, but he really needs to tighten up his handle and decision making. He averaged 3 turnovers per game. He really struggled to hit the 3 ball, but his mechanics are improving. He shot a paltry 27.5% from deep. Next up, we have Bivol Kow from the Washington Wizards, the 7th pick of the first round. He is 6'8", out of the EuroLeague. This was my steal of the draft for over a couple of months now. He was drafted higher than most experts thought he would be. What makes him underdrafted was that Anthony Black being picked above him. This kid has the most upside outside of Wemby in this draft. He was 5'11" a year ago today. He's only 18 years old and now stands at 6'8", 200 plus pounds. He's an uber explosive athlete with one of the highest vertical leaps in the entire class. He has the athleticism and body control at the rim, even with contact. He has a nice three-point shot when he gets his feet set. He has lots of room on his frame to develop. He's an excellent defender and stronger than he looks. This kid could be the next big thing in the NBA. During the EuroLeague playoffs, which had NBA talent and experience in it, he still shined. He could carry Metropolitan 92 at times when Wemby was having an off game. He impacts the game on both ends of the floor. He can guard 1 through 3 and help on 4s when teams go small. He can navigate around screens like a much smaller player. He has an excellent left to right crossover. He can finish with both hands at the rim and is outstanding on the break. He's got a great basketball IQ for moving and cutting, and he never complains and will guard anyone. Alright, next up we have the 10th pick in the first round, Caseon Wallace, the 6'4" guard out of Kentucky. The fact that Anthony Black was selected over him is what makes him underdrafted. Caseon Wallace could be the best PG in this draft. He has a pure natural stroke, shoots a high percentage from 3 at 34.6%. He'll finish at the cup with 2 hands. He can dribble with both his left and right. In college, there was no real offensive freedom to really see what was in his bag, so it's to be determined if he's going to be able to take his guy off the bounce, get to the cup consistently. He comes off screens. He's an excellent weak side shooter or in the pick and roll actions or pick and pop. He buries those threes. He has excellent defensive instincts in 1-2. He's an absolute thief. He doesn't turn the ball over. He can finish in the lane with floaters. He's got an excellent float game, excellent body control in the air. He can finish with his left and right hand. He needs to finish with his left more to avoid getting blocked at the next level. He rebounds well, he passes well, very strong for his age. My only concern was a game against Alabama. He had an off day, that's for sure. Maybe it was due to the length and athleticism. But in the NCAA tournament, he had a fire lit under him due to the stakes. He was an absolute dog defensively. All right, the next pick was Jalen Hayes with great value by the Los Angeles Lakers at pick number 17. They got a contributor right away in the 6'6" guard out of Indiana. Jalen's an excellent shooter and passer. He has a nice hesitation, change of pace dribble to get into the lane. He can finish with both hands, but he's not an elite athlete. He does an excellent job of shooting the ball coming off screens with the ball in his hands. He can make the extra pass to get his open shooters the ball more, which he needs to do at the next level. He's excellent at getting a defender on his hip and keeping him there in the lane in order to get his floater off with either hand. He has excellent footwork, utilizes the dribble well coming off screens, create his own shot. He doesn't really rebound out of his area well. He can give you a little bit of everything from shooting to playmaking to ball pressure. He's going to be a great fit in LA. Next up is Hawkins Jr., the number 18 pick selected by the Miami Heat. They got excellent value out of the Swiss Army knife from UCLA. He's 6'7", small forward, power forward that shot 47.5% from the field, 32.8% from deep. However, his sophomore year, he shot 39% from deep, so his usage rate was way up, caused him to dip a little bit. Jaime has an excellent mobility for his size. He can switch off and guard multiple positions, 1 through 4. He isn't an explosive athlete on tape, but an excellent positional defender, slides his feet extremely well. He runs the floor with a relentless motor. He has tremendous footwork in the low block and the mid post. He has great balance and follow through on his three-point shot. He can turn around and fade over either shoulder. He has a nice right-hand jump hook in the low block. He does an excellent job of using his 225-pound frame to create angles to accept post-entry passes. He's an excellent screener. He passes the ball well out of double teams. His lack of explosiveness shows up in the low block when defenders stay down on his pump fake. The explosiveness is a little confusing because he had one of the highest verticals at the combine at 39 inches. He's 22 years old, so he'll be expected to contribute immediately. Another great value is Oliver Prosper, the 24th pick in the first round by the Dallas Mavericks. The Mavericks got great value in this 20-year-old. He's 6'8" out of Marquette. Prosper is a foul magnet. He will draw fouls on the opposing team's defense. He goes all out, all gas, no breaks in the paint. He's an explosive 2-foot jumper that can finish. He can finish around the cup with both hands. He doesn't have a real jump hook or a low post game. With all the raw power and explosiveness, he's a high energy guy that any team would love. He has better mechanics on his jumper than his percentages would suggest. He'll be able to guard multiple positions at the next level. This is a perfect fit. This would have been a perfect fit for the Nets instead of Clowney. Next up, we have Ben Shepard, the 26th pick by the Indiana Pacers in the first round. They got a steal in the 6'6" point guard out of Belmont. Shepard is a player that has all the tools you need to be ready in the NBA, except superb athleticism. His mind is what makes him a valuable prospect. He has excellent instincts and basketball IQ. He'll be able to run an NBA offense and get the right players organized into the right spots. He'll be able to distribute the ball and knock down shots from the outside. He always plays at his pace and gets to his spots on the floor. He can finish with either hand at the rim. He also plays the glass well from mid-range. He's a very competitive defender at the point of attack. He's going to be able to guard all the point guards in the league, harass them, switch out on the shooting guards, be competitive against small forwards. Excellent pickup by the Pacers. All right, lastly for best value, we have Bryce Steele out of Ohio State, the 28th pick by the Utah Jazz. They got a potential top 15 pick at number 28. Sensabaugh is only 19 years old, 6'6", 235-pound shooting guard / small forward. He has every tool in the bag offensively. The question will be, is he willing to work? I mean, he shot 48.2% from the field, 40.5% from deep. As a bonus, he shoots 83% from the free throw line. If you're going to take a flyer on Derek Whitehead as the Nets did, I would have taken this guy instead. He needs to get into NBA shape. He has very slow feet, but knows how to use his size and weight against smaller players. He has a nice jump shot, but takes some poor shots at times. He needs to follow through a little bit higher, get his legs a little bit more into his jumper, but those results are already outstanding. This is due to his conditioning, I would imagine. He doesn't get much lift. He has nice handle for his size, but lacks the foot speed to capitalize down the lane. He has a quick right to left crossover into a jumper or down the lane from all over the court. He uses the triples threat position well to get his shot off. Excellent value. Alright, the first of our poor value picks is the Orlando Magic taking Anthony Black, number 6 overall, the 6'7" point guard / shooting guard from Arkansas. He may be the most overdrafted player in the entire draft to me. He has decent stats, 12.8 points per game, 5.1 rebounds per game, 3.9 assists per game. Anthony Black has an excellent feel for the game that allows him in college to better utilize his size. He's an excellent passer. He can shoot the ball from 3, but he's stiff, doesn't get much lift when he's shooting. I haven't seen much in the way of creating his own space for his jump shot or for his own buckets. He's going to make the transition to the NBA as a scorer pretty difficult for him in that regard. If he focuses on passing and being a role player on offense, he can find a role more quickly. He never drives or finishes going left. Most of his actions in college from the pick and roll or him going right or curling into the lane going right. His defense leaves a lot to be desired. His stance is very stiff and upright. I don't see him being a positive defensive contributor early. He over-penetrates and picks up his dribble in the middle of the lane a lot, leaves his feet to make passes and gets caught in the air with nowhere to go. I'm not saying he's not going to be able to make a living in the league. He's just not going to be a superstar or a super all-star. And at the 6th pick, you got to do better than that, especially when Bilal Coulibaly was still on the board. Next up, we have Horst Walker, and the reason why I have him as poor value because he's at the 8th overall pick in the draft to the Indiana Pacers. He's 6'8" power forward. He's a little undersized to me in the fact that he can't really guard centers. I mean, he'll be able to guard him because he's bulky, but he's not really that tall, so he's strictly going to be a power forward. He doesn't slide his feet well enough to provide position flexibility. He blocks a lot of shots from behind in the half court. Usually that's the great timing, but not great leaping ability. I see him block a lot of shots right at the hand, which is going to lead to fouls in the NBA, and he may not be able to stay on the floor. He'll need to be a better positional defender, in my opinion. He's also limited offensively. He does provide some outside shooting at 34.7% from the three-point line. I would have preferred Derek Lively if I was going to go to the defensive route, or Taylor Hendricks for a similar type of player. Next up on the poor value picks, we have number 11 going to the Orlando Magic, Juwan Howard, the 6'8" small forward from Michigan, the son of former player Juwan Howard. Jet is dripping in finesse. He lacks physicality both offensively and defensively. Takes a lot of bad shots, but he has a quick release. Drops his follow through from time to time, which can cause it to be inconsistent. He needs to follow through higher and hold it there. Needs to put on weight. He'll crash the offensive glass, make some poor passes, and can be careless with the ball. He doesn't finish well in traffic, but he does have a floater. Not a great touch on it yet consistently. He shot 41% from the field, but he buried 36.8% of his threes. He has a lot of work to do on the defensive end of the floor. Next up on the list is Kobe Buffkin, the 15th pick by the Atlanta Hawks in the first round. They get the 19-year-old guard, also out of Michigan. He shot 46% from the field and 32.5% from the three-point line. He's a solid free throw shooter at 83.3%. Buffkin has a very awkward J. He drifts a lot, and this causes him to shoot low percentages from deep. But when he gets his feet set, he can really knock it down. His elbow, it's in a decent spot, but he's a lefty. All lefties can shoot if they get their feet set, in my opinion. They ran him off a lot of screens and curls into the lane going left so he could be successful. He struggles off the bounce. His handle isn't great. He doesn't have a lot of tools in his bag. He rebounds well for the guard spot. Can that translate at the next level? We'll see, because he's pretty skinny. He's going to have to develop into an NBA body. All right, next up we have Noah Clowney, the 15th pick by the Brooklyn Nets. The power forward out of Alabama shot 48.6% from the field, 28.3% from deep. Clowney's good, P&R lob threat in the style of a Stromile Swift. He's an explosive two-footed jumper in the paint. He uses his long arms to finish inside through some contact. He'll need to put on some muscle at the next level. He can shoot a little hook over that left shoulder, but his low post game isn't developed. He'll give you likely nothing on the perimeter. He'll hit the occasional three ball. He shot 28.3% as I mentioned. It's not going to be good enough at the next level. Generally, he has decent form, but he's got some technical issues that hold him back. The ball comes off his whole hand, not his fingertips. He's a stiff-hipped athlete, which will make switching on the guards almost impossible. He'll be a drop coverage defender. Murray or Prosper would have been better picks in my opinion. Lastly, we have out of Duke, Derek Whitehead, drafted by the Brooklyn Nets. He is the shooting guard that shot 42.9% from deep. He is a knockdown shooter, but this was a head scratcher for me. What he put on tape in college is a very limited prospect. He's not really a point guard or shooting guard at the next level. He would need to size up to play small forward. He doesn't have the handle or the offensive ability to be the focus on offense. His size and outside shot is really about it. His foot speed leaves a lot to be desired. That's because of an injury. He does have injury history too. 3-and-D player. If he can stay healthy, maybe his foot speed can improve. I'm skeptical. I would have taken Ben Shepard over him. Marcus Sasser's a great three-point shooter as well. We know he's healthy. He's 22 years old. He'd have been ready to contribute right away. I just have a lot of reservations about the pick of Derek Whitehead. All right, and that is it for me today. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. Do you agree with me? Do you disagree with me? What other type of concerns do you have or questions do you have about the upcoming NBA season and how your player fits? Let me know. I'm linking the full article down below in the description if you want to read the full article of the overdrafted and underdrafted players in the draft. I did all 30 first-round picks. I really appreciate you. Don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe. Really helps me out. This channel is growing rapidly. I appreciate all your support. Take care. You stay safe out there.